Welcome to the Expansive with Anna Gatmon podcast, where we talk about how to participate in the spiritual evolution taking place at this time on our planet, how you can accelerate your spiritual growth to meet the challenges of our times, and personal tools to help you thrive, flourish, and help shift human and planetary consciousness. Because 1 degree shift can change our world. I'm your host, Anna Gatmon. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to another episode of Expansive with Anna Gatmon. Today, I want to focus on looking for love in all the right places instead of looking for love in all the wrong places. And I'm doing it in a different way. So it's going to be a different format. And I'd love for you to leave a comment and let me know if you like that I'm doing it. It's more of a coaching, practical tips episode than talking about an idea. And so I'm really curious to see how you receive it. And so let me give you a context for it. And then you'll be able to watch the video that I prepared from the coaching session. And so I've started something called Mystical Moment, your mystical moment today. And basically, every week I pick a quality and I share with you a post inside my Expansive community where you can read my post, and it'll be something that will invite you into an intimate, mystical moment with the quality. So 1 week, for example, I focused on ease and how to bring more ease into your life. Last week, I focused on love and how to amplify your life and bring more love into your interactions and the actions you do and the projects you have and into your heart. And so I decided to do a live coaching session about how to find love in all the right places. And so I want to share with you the recording of that. And let's see what you think. I picked one particular way of how you can bring more love into your life and find love in all the right places. There are many ways that you can do that, but here is one way that I share of how to find love in all the right places. And so if you're interested in receiving those mystical moments that show up twice a week, then you can find them in the URL is annagatmon.com/mystical-moment. And it sits in shiftcalling.com or the expansivecommunity.com, which will all take you to the same place. So here it is, how to find love in all the right places. Enjoy. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this first Mystical Moment Live, where we're going to focus about the quality. We're going to focus on the quality of love and how to bring love to all the right places. So, you know the famous country song, "Looking for Love in All the Wrong Places." Well, I want to talk today about how to look for love in all the right places. And if you join, then you can post a question. I can respond. Or an insight that you have, a challenge that you are facing. And if you view the replay, then you can still leave. Hey, David, thanks for joining. If you watch the replay at a later point, at a later time, you can still leave a comment and I'll see the comment and we can engage later on. So let's dive into looking for love in all the right places. So there are many different ways in which you can be a conduit for equality. And we're focusing on love today. So first I'll say that in my upcoming book, which is coming out November 1st, I have a chapter specifically of how to work with qualities and how to bring them into your daily life so that you can enhance your life with those qualities. So today I'm going to focus on specifically one way that you can bring love to all the right places and find love in all the right places. So here it is. We live in the material world and we don't pay attention. It's like everything is material. Everything is things or a to-do list, things we have to do, actions we have to take, decisions we have to make, interactions we have to have, and everything is just, it's happening really, really quickly, right? And we're just doing it without thinking. But if we take a moment and look around our material world and pay attention, we'll see that there is love hidden in many different places that we don't think about and we don't pay attention to, but it is there. And so let's kind of think together. Okay, so where is there love, for example, in objects in your environment? Okay, maybe there's love in hiding in a stone that you have on your desk that you picked, like a rock that you found in the river or when you were on the beach last time. And so that rock that sits on your desk by your computer, when you picked it, it called to you. And there was a moment of exchange of love there. And so as that rock now sits on your desk, you might look at it and have for a moment remember the walk on the beach, but you might not be thinking about it anymore because that rock is part of your day now. But if you take a moment before you open your computer to stop and look at that rock, and suddenly you might feel a sense of love because there's love embedded, imbued in that rock, because there was love at the moment that you picked it up. There was a moment of recognition of the beauty of it, its shape, what it represents for you, or that specific walk on the beach. And so that love is in that rock. And so if you take that moment, suddenly you have nourishment from a rock on your desk. And you can nourish yourself with a moment of love. Now you're less depleted, you're rejuvenated, you're energized, you've been nourished by a rock with love. So that's an example of an object. But you could also look at your environment, the room that you're in, or there's a specific corner that you love in your house. And when you walk into that room or that corner, you just feel uplifted each time because maybe you put a lot of thoughtfulness into decorating it. So it has a special atmosphere for you so that you just love it. You love to entertain there. You love to have guests come over. Then that area in your room, that room has love imbued in its substance. And you can walk into that space and you can feel, ooh, I'm getting love from this room. And suddenly you're nourished by a room, by an environment that may seem like it's just a room with table and chairs, but it's alive. And it's emanating love because you put love into it. And that love that you put into it is there for you as a bank, as a storage house that you can draw from whenever you need a little potion of love. You might have a teacup that you love or a coffee mug that you love. And when you drink from it, it has that. And so you take a moment and you have a little connection and interaction of love. So that's how love is everywhere because you put love into so many things in your life. And that's just objects, right? But your entire environment is filled with love. We just never think about it. There's more degrees of separation between a rock or a teacup or a chair or a corner in your house. So you don't see love just like you see a rom-com, and so you know that there's love there. It might be less obvious, but that's because we have not been taught to look for love in the rock that we love, or the teacup that we love, or the corner in the house that just fills us with love each time that we sit down in our favorite chair there. So that's how you can find love in all the right places, just in objects and environments. The same you can do with activities that you do. We all have endless to-do lists throughout the day. Think of activities that you love doing from your to-do list. Is there love embedded in one of those activities? Is there love embedded when you go to the gym? A love for yourself, for nourishing yourself, for taking care of your body? Is there love when you cook yourself a nourishing meal, or you have a smoothie that you love? There's love in everything that you put love into. So pay attention, and suddenly you'll be filled with love. So you could go about your mundane, so-called mundane day, and suddenly there's love in your smoothie, there's love in the chair in the corner where you're sitting and reading the newspaper, there's love in the rock that before you open your computer. There's love everywhere. And the same, of course, with people. If there's people that you especially love that you're interacting with, take a moment and just tell yourself in your heart to yourself, I love spending time with this person. When I'm with them, love flows freely. Just do that. What it took me 15 seconds to say this. Say that in your heart before you meet a person that you love. You're going to expand. Your heart is going to burst with love for them, and the interaction with them is going to be different. The exchange is going to be different. If you're working on a project, the decisions you make, the thoughts you have, everything is going to change. So this is how you can find love in all the right places, instead of looking for it in all the wrong places. So David, if you're here and you want to share something where you can say, well, this is where I find love in all the right places. What might be a place throughout your day, the mundane things that you're doing in your day, where there's love that you might not have thought about it, or you know it's there, but you don't pay attention to it because you're doing what you need to do and you're trying to get through an endless to-do list. If there's anything like that that you want to share, then you can write it down in the chat. I'm not sure where to find the chat, but here it is. Okay, found it. Often I feel love from my sister. So I don't know if your sister lives near or far, but if your sister is a person in your life that gives you an easy access and doorway to the quality of love, then use your imagination, your thinking of her, your imagining her, the way she looks, the way she talks, how she jokes, what she cooks, your interactions when you do things together, whatever connection you have with her. If you take a moment, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, to imagine her and the things that you love about her, your heart is going to burst. So she becomes a doorway, a gateway for you to experience more love. And then you go off and do what you got to do, whatever is on your to-do list. But now you have love flowing more freely through your heart. And your face is smiling and your eyes are shining. So that's a way to look for love in all the right places. Where is it in your love, in your life, with the people that you're with, people you interact with at work, at home, professionally, personally, in the world? Where is it in the actions and activities that you need to take and are doing? And where is it in objects that you live with in your work environment or your home environment, or when you go out into the world. And if there's love there, if you put love in there at some point, or if you feel love towards that activity, person, or object, then it's there, stored like in a bank. It doesn't go away, and you can tap into it and nourish yourself and feel replenished, and then move on. And you can do it 10 times a day, or you can do it once a day. So that's how you look for love in all the right places. If you want to try, David, if you want to try something that maybe with an object or something in your work environment, or something that maybe feels more stressful, then you can just write it down in the chat and we'll play with it, and we'll see if we can find the degrees of separation from it not being so exciting to where is the love there. So if there's something that comes to you, then you can write it down. And in the meantime, I'll just say that one of the principles that I write about in my book, Shift Calling, a practical guide to accelerate your spiritual growth, is the principle of physical and non-physical synergy. And what it means is it comes from everything is alive. Even what we have been taught is matter, and we've been taught is dead and is not alive, is energy, intelligent energy. It's all consciousness. And so if everything is consciousness and everything is alive, then you can communicate with everything, with a rock, with a cup of tea, with a chair, with a corner in your room, with an activity, because you imbue it with love, and it is sending love back to you whenever you pay attention to it. And it amplifies your connection with a person, with the object, with the activity. Suddenly there's more joy in engaging with it because you have allowed love to flow through, and you are nourished throughout your day versus depleted. So that's the principle of physical and non-physical synergy. That means everything is alive and you can communicate with it. So let's see here. I have a basketball in my office, which reminds me of my love for the game. And I always love thinking about skiing. I feel the most love from God. Beautiful. So here's a question. And it just popped in. So we're just playing here. We're just trying it out. Can you see God in you when you ski? Can you see God in the environment? Can you see God in the snow? Can you see God in the trees that are covered with snow? Can you see God through the ingenuity, human ingenuity that created skiing equipment so that you can slide down? Do you see God in the ingenuity of creating human? You are able, with your hands, with your arms, with your brain, with everything, balance, able to ski and just feel the wind and flow. And I mean, it's such a freeing experience. So the question is, can we, in the mundane things that we are doing, can we experience God? And God is another word for love, for joy. And so whatever you're doing, see if you can see God in it, or source, or light, whatever you call this unfathomable force, the divine sacredness. Look for it in yourself, look for it in the activity, look for it in the surrounding, in the objects around you. So in the example of the skiing, look in yourself, in your ingenuity of your creation as a human being that you can ski. Looking at in your capacity to enjoy the skiing experience. Look for it in the surrounding nature, the expansiveness, the birds flying around, whatever you see, the snowflakes coming down. Even in your challenge, it might be challenging, it might be hard, you're sweating, maybe there was a scary moment there, but you had the courage, you had the fortitude, you continued. It was this, and all of that is part of human creation, of divine creation.
So there is love in that moment. And if you can experience that love and amplify it, your heart is just going to burst. So I felt close to God when skiing. Now I know why. Beautiful, David. Thank you so much for sharing so openly here. So I'm going to close this now. If you listen to it later on, the replay, and you want to share, please do. Share all the places that you can look for love in all the right places. And see, even if there's degrees of separation, how can you find love in that activity, that object, or that person, and in yourself? That's one way to bring the quality of love, the experience of love, and intensify it, amplify it in your day, in your life, and start finding love in all the right places. So thanks, David. Thanks to everyone watching. Sending you with blessings of love.